Hey, what is up, guys? WWE Forever 98 here, and in this video I will be talking about the Attitude Era and discussing if it was good or bad for the WWE now and in pro wrestling in general. But first, before I do that, I want to give a quick DVD update. I went to Walmart. I actually went to Walmart Tuesday. I was planning on getting Extreme Rules, and it was sold out. I was really surprised because that's never happened to me before. I mean, it's very rare that WWE DVDs sell out at Walmart, at least in mine. So you know what? I was like, whatever. This was Wednesday. If I said Tuesday, I meant Wednesday. So I decided to go today, and there were 5 copies left, so you know I had to jump on it. Extreme Rules 2010. So I picked this up. This is probably my second favorite pay-per-view this year, first being WrestleMania. And speaking of WrestleMania, the 3-disc was completely sold out. They only had 2 discs, and there was plenty of those. But yeah, I was very happy to get this. They also had the Marine 2 for $13, but I've actually seen it on Amazon go for like around $7 with shipping, and it just came out like what, 6 months ago. So you know I'll probably pick that up eventually. But yeah, so that was my quick little DVD update. Extreme Rules 2010. Alright guys, so I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, as far as back as like November, honest to God. And I just remembered about this video. Like, I didn't even remember I was supposed to do this video until like maybe 3 weeks ago. I wanted to do it last week, didn't have the time, so I figured, you know what, I don't have any videos planned for today, I'll make the video. Now, let me just say something before you just judge this video by the title. Let me explain, okay? As of late, I know a lot of people have been moving away from WWE, moving away from TNA, moving away from pro wrestling in general. I know a lot of people that have left YouTube because they stopped making videos because they don't enjoy wrestling anymore. So I just thought this was a great time to do this. I'm just going to give you the pros and cons of the Attitude Era. So let me start with the good about the Attitude Era. I was born, I wouldn't say born into it, I was brought into the Attitude Era in 1998. A little bit, like a year, I would say, after the Attitude Era officially started in 97. And you know what? In the Attitude Era, there were a lot of legends made. Yet Stone Cold Steve Austin, in my opinion, the best superstar born into the Attitude Era. Up next would be The Rock. The Rock, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. You had Triple H, even though this one's kind of on the line, because I mean, I don't think that Triple H was really ahead of Stone Cold and The Rock in the Attitude Era. I thought he was starting after, like in 2002, when he really established himself as a main eventer. That's in my opinion. I know he's been WWF champion in the Attitude Era, I'm just saying. Undertaker, now you can also argue that, you know, he was made in the early 90s, but you know, his ministry angle, you know, his feud with Kane in 97, I just consider that's probably one of my favorite feuds of all time, Kane versus the Undertaker in 97. But I personally consider Undertaker made into a huge main eventer in the Attitude Era. And last, Mick Foley, Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Jack, whatever you want to call him. Personally, I loved Mankind, and I just thought that this guy should have gotten more title pushes. I think he was a 2-time WWF champion. But you know, you had Stone Cold and The Rock and Undertaker always in the mix, and then Triple H went down with an injury, so he was out for a little bit. You know, he had the My Time gimmick, Triple H did, so yeah. So legends were made, no question about it. As far as the product, I think it did, my opinion, I think it contributed to the death of WCW. Now, that could be controversial to somebody, some people on here, because a lot of people blame it on the AOL merger. They blame it on the creative decisions by WCW. But, if the product was shit in WCW and it was also shit in the WWF, I mean, if you're a WCW fan, why would you watch? Why would you leave one shit company to go to another? And the Attitude Era was a time where it was so much fun. Now, granted, the matches weren't that good. I mean, besides the main events, the mid card wasn't that good. The tag division was pretty good, but the mid card wasn't really, there, in my opinion. But it was a time where WWF was the place to be. I mean, you had divas stripping, you had Mae Young giving birth to a hand. I mean, that's must-see TV, people. So yeah, I think that it contributed to the death of WCW. And also, I'm just going to make 3 points for good and bad. The third point for good is it brought in a huge fan base. I mean, Raws were getting high ratings. Nothing compared to nowadays. About 10.0s, I mean, it was crazy. And you know what? Well, I'm going to get to the bad soon, but I think that's something that people that hate WWE now use ammunition for, to say, oh, well, WWE shit now because they're getting low ratings. Yeah. So anyway, so that's the good. There's much more good. I can go on and on, but I'm just giving 3 reasons. The bad. After the Attitude Era was over, in my opinion, it was over at WrestleMania 17 when Austin shook McMahon's hand. There were high standards, because for the fan base that was brought into the WWF at the time of the Attitude Era, we thought, I hate saying this as like I'm representing them, but we thought that this was the normal for WWF, and when it was over, we were like, what is this? Because it wasn't as edgy. I mean, it still had, TV 14, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't the same. Let's just say that. So the fans like me that were brought into it, I mean, I didn't know what was going on. So where was Austin? Where's The Rock? Well, The Rock was still around. Austin was kind of whatever. So you had high standards. You have high standards nowadays. I mean, there's a lot of people that look. They compare today's wrestling to the Attitude Era, which in my opinion is total crap. You can't. It was a different time. So, also, no new stars were created for years after the Attitude Era. I mean, Kurt Angle. That's about it. 2002, you had Brock Lesnar. 2003 was just a horrible year. You had to rely on bringing in Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, and Goldberg to be in the main event in 2003. Because WWE did not know what they were doing. The Rock basically left, Stone Cold basically left. So WWE did not know what they were doing. So they had to rely on, Nash, Steiner, and Goldberg to come in and try to draw. Because there weren't really any draws in 2003, if you think about it. I mean, you have Triple H. I mean, that was basically the it guy in 2003. He world champion, and then also, like I said, those who were brought in to the Attitude Era, we were not used to, not as edgy wrestling. So when we look back on it, we're like, oh man, why can't they have that again? But you look back before, the Attitude Era, it was just as PG. I mean, people complain about PG all the time on here. But if you look back on it, I mean, it's just as PG. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage. I mean, if that's not PG, I don't know what is. So those are just some of the reasons why the Attitude Era could have been good or bad for me. The good totally outweighs the bad, but I'm just giving like pros and cons here. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I have for you. Let me know what you think about this video. I know people aren't even gonna watch. Some people aren't even gonna watch and just rate it thumbs down because, oh, I'm bashing the Attitude Era. But you know, I'm just giving pros and cons, like I said. So guys, I think this could be a great video response. If you want, give me your thoughts on the Attitude Era in the comments. If you want to make a video response, that's great. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I may have a DVD update for you tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.